What's up, people? Back for another reaction, though I do have a couple bits of housekeeping first. And unfortunately, the first bit of housekeeping is a sad thing. Saleh, my cat, who's been a fixture of the first few weeks of these videos, he's always sitting on my lap, always jumping up. He's a very old guy, and he had several health issues, which became so acute to the point where, unfortunately, we did have to euthanize him. It's an incredibly sad thing. He was my companion for 15 years, more than that, 15 and a half years. So he will be missed, and if you've been watching these videos, you'll know what he looks like, and so it's something that I think brings up an important point, and that is for any of you who are watching these videos. I've had a personal experience in the last 24 hours that has reminded me of the importance of making sure to appreciate and spend time with the people in your life and the pets in your life. So if you're watching this video at some point today, do me a favor, reach out to a friend, a family member, a pet. Let them know you appreciate them, let them know you care, spend some good time with them, because things can change before you know it, and life is fleeting, both for humans and non-human animals. So that's an unfortunate thing, but R.I.P. to Saleh the Techno Cat. I will always love him. Second piece of housekeeping is I'm going to continue doing these videos in the way that I have for the last couple weeks, at least for the next little bit. When I hit reaction video number 100, I have a plan for that, and I also think at that point I may begin to be a little more regimented, perhaps releasing 3 or 4 reaction videos a week, maybe on specific days, instead of just kind of at random and like sort of spurts the way I've been doing it, although again, I might keep with that, we'll see. But again, I plan on being a little more organized in my ambient mixes that I've been putting up, my ambient excursions. I'm probably going to do at least a couple of those on Sunday, which will go back to the way that I used to do that show on Pure. And I plan on doing, my SoundCloud mixes that I've been putting on YouTube. I continue to do those, but I might, choose a specific day for one of those every week. Nevertheless, let's get to the real stuff, the real action while you're here today. So I've been reviewing more hardcore lately, and Ruffneck, a friend of mine that I've reviewed a couple of his tracks, he reached out and he said he enjoyed what I'm doing, so I really want to keep that going. I really want to talk more hardcore, so we're going to do a tune by an artist I mentioned a couple times, an artist named Slugnoid. I believe his real name is David Stella. I'm telling you, this guy's productions, I have heard several tracks by him. There's not one, not a single one I've heard that is not good, like solid, excellent. And honestly, I mean, the guy does not put a production foot wrong as far as I'm concerned. And indeed, we're going to listen to, I figured for this video, one where I was going to talk about Saleh and sort of, just sort of make a slightly more profound point outside of just music, I feel like I had to pick a really important track, a track that really is special to me. And I've done that because the track that we're going to listen to, which is the Slugnoid remix of the Twins Artcore Ruffneck bass. And if you've heard the original is on that 10-inch fucking hardcore series from Mokum. It's brilliant, it's fantastic, it features so many of the elements that I've talked about that I love with the Twins Artcore work. Just a wicked alive bass line, an excellent kick, crazy synths. I mean, it's brilliant. We'll do that one. But I'm going to start with the remix, because the remix I actually heard before the original, and it set my brain on fire. I was literally like, oh my god, who is this producer Slugnoid? What else has he put on vinyl, and can I buy it right now? Was basically my immediate response. So yeah, this is just an amazing, incredible tune. It is also, like another record we did yesterday on Mokum, and I just want to give a shout out to Mokum, not only for being this dope, really old school label that is, been around since the earliest days of Gabber and hardcore, but I love this thing that they put on a lot of their releases, this logo, United Gabbers Against Racism and Fascism. It's like, look, I'm not going to get into too much politics on this channel, but I absolutely appreciate that. I think that's fantastic, and the fact that it's a sort of hard and fast and sort of badass style of music, but made, produced, and presented by people who are against xenophobia, against bigotry, and so on. That's just brilliant. I love it. It's fantastic, and it warms my heart. So shout out to Mokum for doing that on your releases. You guys are awesome. So let's get to it. We're going to look at the Twins Artcore Ruffneck bass, the Slugnoid remix. Also, shout out to the colored vinyl. As I've always said, for me it's about the music on the record. It's not necessarily if it's colored vinyl or, any, autograph on the sleeve or like whatever. Sometimes I think people will fetishize things that are outside the music, which I don't mind. I get it. Like, I'm a collector too. I want to collect things that are sort of like special copies of something, but I do still appreciate colored vinyl because it shows that the label is going above and beyond just the bare minimum for a release. They want to make a special like artifact that can be kept and appreciated. So yeah, let's just appreciate Mokum 204. This is the front. I know it's sort of like, it's probably like grainy and a little bit blurry when I put it that close to the camera, but trying to give you a close-up look. See if we got any writing or etchings in the runout groove. Doesn't look like it. Maybe the alphanumeric indicator for the record, but I don't think anything else. So like I said, let's get to it. We're going to listen to the Twins Artcore Ruffneck Bass Slugnoid remix. This record is from, yeah, 2020. This is a 2020 record. Manufactured by No Pizza Records, which is, Danny Tribe, the Twins Artcore, that's his label. So shout out to him for the manufacturing, and big ups to Mokum. And to Slugnoid, as you will see. David Stella, as I mentioned. Let's get it. What is going on there? Oh, that's what's going on. Helps to have the channel volume up if you actually want to hear what's on the channel, right? Come on. Oh. I apologize to pause so quickly, but I will say this is a perfect opening record for a mix. I've used it as an opening record in a set at least a couple times. You can check on my end of year Gabber, or is it like Gabber 2022? Might be end of year Gabber 2021 mix. It's a video mix that I have on this channel. Just go to my hardcore mixes playlist and you can scroll down, and I think it's one of the, it's like the third one. I think it was the third hardcore mix I'd done, maybe the second. Video mix, that is. Anyway, I began that mix with this track, and it's such an atmospheric, it has a raga vocal, or I should just say, more generally, a reggae vocal. It's like a very classic sample. I'm blanking, of course, in the moment what it's from. I'm sure someone can tell me down in the comments. But basically, you started a mix with this record. You are telling people, hey, pay attention because this set is about to pop off. That one. Sort of suspenseful synth. The first time I heard this drop, I lost my mind. I couldn't believe it. Are you ready for the Ruffneck bass? Come on! Are you ready for the Ruffneck bass? The hat coming back in, delicious. And did I mention acid? Because acid. Oh my god! Yo, I've heard this tune, I don't know, 50 times, 60 times. I've used it in mixes a half dozen times. It's still, and it's a testament, there are certain tunes that can do this. I mentioned a few in other genres, like Overcharge, featuring G Meter, Whiplash. It's a tune that still gives me goosebumps, and I've heard it like 1,000 times. And there are other examples from other genres. But this is right on that same level. Like, again, I've heard it dozens of times. I'm still like, I'm coursing, like my body is keyed up. I'm ready to go run by a speaker. So let's just appreciate the way that acid rolls in with thunderous aplomb again. Oof. Like two layers, right? There's like a electric kind of underlying acid, and then there's this like plinko kind of bouncing around sort of acid work, and they work great in conjunction. Acid layers, if you've been watching these videos, acid layers. They take a really good track and they can bring it to an even higher level. Just those reggae samples in conjunction with that percussion scheme, forget about it. I'm so embarrassed I can't think of what the samples are. Honestly, it's going to be, I guess, a less analytical video, because when a tune is this flawless to my mind, I don't nitpick it in the same way I do some other ones. It's just like, I like this, and I like this, and I like the progression, and I like the sequencing, and I like the kick, and the bass drum, and the acid, the sample. Oh, and guess what? The best part of the tune hasn't even come yet. Okay, before we get to this brain-exploding, pulse-pounding, Shnootz can't handle it part, I mentioned when I first heard the intro to this track, my brain exploded, but when we got here, when we get this stripped-down sort of configuration of the track, with just that repeating vocal, are you ready for the Ruffneck bass? The track, okay, so it breaks down, I think it's a 32, maybe, yeah, I think it's a 32. And then it just storms to life. It explodes in a way that I, honestly, if the beginning blew my mind, this one essentially, cleaves my mind in two. So prepare yourself for one of the most thunderous mini breakdown drops. But again, it's like, it doesn't have that like snare build the way a couple of the other drops in the track already have. It catches you by surprise the first time you hear it. Maybe not now because I've said it. Maybe I've undone the good work of Mr. Stella. I apologize. But I just want people to understand that when I first heard this, I mean, I couldn't even believe it. Like, I wanted to, like, jump out of my brain and throw, like, fist pumps till I died. When I hear tunes like this, sometimes I laugh, because it's like, I don't even, how do you respond to something like this? By the way, I've mixed this into Slugnoid's tune My Money, which I'm going to react to that one too. I'm going to get to that one soon, because it's worthy of a good reaction. But this and that tune mix flawlessly. They go together like peanut butter and jelly, whatever analogy works for you. Nachos and cheese, let's fucking have it, man. When it did that little sort of brief, like, it wasn't a full dead pause, but it sort of pulled some elements out right before the measure transition. There was that background sort of like electric acid line. Yeah, I think you can hear that. Yeah, and the kick doesn't even come out. It just kind of rolls. It does one of those like syncopated rolls into the next measure. That's brilliant. There's little details like that, man. And now you start mixing out, but you take this one all the way to the end. You milk every single drop out of this track. Bitch gotta have my money. Bitch better have my money. I recommend trying to mix those two tracks together. It just... bass line is just chef's kiss, for lack of a better way to express it. Brilliant. And ending with that sample, you know, I talked about how excellent this is as a mix opening record. But again, an ending like that, you can use it as a final record. It doesn't just sort of, you know, hat, like, done. Which could feel very sort of, you know, abrupt and sort of almost undesirable as an ending. But no, that one has like a proper ending, so it could also work as a set ending tune. And any mix or any track that can work both at the beginning of a set, the end of a set, and that is basically, to my mind, flawless all the way through, what other grade can you give it than an A+? So I apologize, I'm not trying to come across as a massive fanboy, but honestly, this guy's work, Slugnoid, David Stella, as I believe, I've yet to hear a tune by him that I'm not like am insanely fond of. There's a recent, I think one of the most recent, if not the most recent, release on that 10-inch fucking hardcore series on Mokum is a release by him. There's a tune on there, I believe it's 5 a.m. I mean, they're both good. One is a little more of a happy hardcore tune, which it's not my main genre. You know, I did date a girl way back in the 90s who was into it, so I know a little bit about it, and I came to have a little bit of a soft spot for it. It's not my main pursuit, but the tune on the flip side is very much in this early hardcore, acid-heavy sort of style, and fucking hell. Again, I think it's called 5 a.m. It's either 5 a.m. or what's the other one? Doesn't matter. I'll get to it. But I'm definitely going to have to react to that one, because that one just, my God, it's the same thing. When I was listening to it the first time, it was like, I kept grabbing my head, like, is this real? So yeah, big ups to him, like, awesome artist. Seriously, just please keep giving us more tunes, because I will buy them on site, man. Just brilliant. Yeah, so shout out to him, shout out to Mokum again. Shout out to Roberto Formek. I felt like I got a little interaction with him about these videos, like I said, so I felt like I had to rock his shirt. I'm just so proud of the tunes that he's making, and just, you know, the person that he is, as I've come to know. So big ups to you as well, my man. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed these tracks in general. I have more hardcore coming, so hopefully you're into it. If not, don't worry, I've got Goa Trance, Acid Techno, other styles coming as well. But yeah, please let me know if you have any suggestions, any recommendations. I'm always looking for feedback and interaction, so I'd love any engagement that you might have to give me. So let me know if you have anything in that regard. Otherwise, have a good day, have a good night. I'll see you next time. Peace.